So quickly, I want us to have a look at the login, how the login works. So now that we did the sign up, then now we expect now the login to be able to work without issues. So of course, somebody should be able to type the email and then now the password. Then after that, when you click login, you expect to get some results. So what is expected of us, as usual, make sure that the form for login has the method, and also we have the email and the password here, and then now your button. So when the button is clicked, then now we can now start the process. So when this button login is clicked, then we capture the form inputs for the one for email and the one for password. Now when you have the email and the password, then of course now the password you need again to convert using an MD5, the way we did in signing up, because the password that we inserted in the database was already converted. So make sure you also convert again here. So once you're done, so we are now going to use this converted password. So as usual, now you connect to the DB so that we can now write a query to compare what the user has typed and what is already in the database. So how do we do that? This is the query: select all from your table name. Of course, my table name here was account, where email matches what the user has typed, and also where pass matches what the user has typed. So that's what we have here. So select all from account, where emails matches this and password matches this. So once you're done with that, then from there we can pick. So we have our query here. So we need just to execute the query as usual. Of course, this is a parameter that we normally pass using MySQLi query. This parameter, of course, is coming from this connection string here. So at the end of the day, we pass our query. So we expect now this query as executed. Now, variable res, $sign res, we need to get the number of rows that it is returning. So we're expecting, before we proceed, you need to test your application. No, this is just for the purpose of testing. We need to know the number of rows that we have selected here, so that if the number of rows is greater than 0, we know really we did the selection successfully. But if the number of rows is less than 0, then it means that user doesn't exist. So it's good you understand the logic. So when you have that with you, then now we can write an if, an if function to make the decision of where we are going to take the user next. So of course, MySQL num rows, then now we get the number of rows. So let me test. I think I know our username here, Skybar. The password was Skybar as well. So login. Am I getting any data? Am I getting any return? Let me confirm. Am I returning? Am I getting anything here? Really? Let me go back there. So this was login. I'm worried now. My login appears to be duplicated. Let me refresh this page once again. So Skybar password. Let me just get some password. I want to confirm. I think this form has some issues. My form here, my login form has some issues. Now let me have the algorithm here. Just say if the number of rows, this one, is greater than 0, if the number of rows, this one, is greater than 0, it means the user already has succeeded. So you just need to call the header function and maybe redirect the user to another page. So something like this: location full colon, we take the user to the dashboard page.php. Yeah, but now if the user did not succeed, if the number of rows are not greater than 0, then we need to take the user back to the original page, which is now the index page. So something like that. So we need to test and see whether really everything is working as expected. So at this point, when the user succeeds to log in successfully, we can make some decision. Like if the user doesn't succeed, we take the user back here. But if the user succeeds, of course, the password here was sky bar. Let's see. Of course, that is what we wanted. So that means when you get the number of rows greater than 0, that means the user is already succeeding, is inside the system. But less than that, the user did not succeed. So that is what we wanted to achieve. Now next, we'll make sure that we filter, we lock so that users cannot automatically be taken to the dashboard. In case somebody knows the dashboard page, remember some malicious people can just come here and type. So we want to put what we call sections. A session will be able to protect a user. When the moment you go to the page for dashboard, the system can check first whether really you succeeded in logging in before it brings this page to you, so that every other login can pass through the login page first to test. So that is what we wanted to achieve. That's how the login starts. After that, now when the login succeeds, then somebody should be taken to the next page. Later, maybe we can try to filter. Later, we can try to filter so that again users can only fetch data that is relevant, data that belongs to them. Unless you are an administrator, you are not supposed to see every other data. So we can also do similar thing to filter and still to control who is supposed to do an edit and a delete, something like that. So, but for now, that is how the login is supposed to be structured. A simple way of just creating a login control. But again, remember this is very raw. There is much you need to add later. Thank you for watching. Let's meet in the next class for sessions.